Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat on the way in. What's going on, yo? What's going on? What's going on? Okay, so we're gonna freestyle this. I didn't even put the link for what I'm referencing in the description box, although I will be doing that later. My apologies for that. We will be talking about the video that Anton did on the young lady that was on Pop the Balloon Show and her trying to blackmail some white athlete and false allegations and all of that, right? Um, and having sex with him once and begging him to have sex again and all of this foolishness, right? And if y'all recall, she did her best impersonation of an uppity white woman um, on the Pop the Balloon show. Y'all are gonna see what I'm talking about when I put the link in the description box. I will be doing that, like I said, after this stream, so y'all will see what I'm referencing. So and for those of you that already checked out Anton's video and know what I'm speaking about, it was the Pop the Balloon show with the brother that was a little bit more soft spoken, where the light skinned young lady was kind of mocking him and saying, "Pop the balloon again, pop the balloon again." It wasn't that light skinned young lady that we're referencing. It was a young lady. It looked like she was wearing with turquoise or like aqua or something like that. Um, and yeah, just yeah. She did her best, like, yeah, it looks like if I reject you, if I turn you down, that you will harm me or whatever she was saying. Um, while we're reviewing this, is what we're finding more and more is there are a lot of not, a lot is not the word I want to use. There seems to be a number. There we go. A number of black women who are walking around, talking, maneuvering, comporting themselves as if they are doing better in life, as if they are upper tier people, as if they are high income earners, or at least they are used to the finer things of life. And we already know that women do this to signal and to virtue signal that you, as a man, if you enter their life or enter something else, that you now have to assume the role of hyper provider, right? And okay, thank you, AO. And AO says, and he's a basketball player. Okay, okay, right. And so we watched the young lady kind of comport herself like this, and you watch other women in general do this, but black women specifically, especially towards black men, right? I have a whole different. Um, I'm gonna take this a little bit different than Anton, because y'all know Anton likes to play down race unless he's insulting black people. Um, racism doesn't exist for brothers like that until they get hemmed up. So um, I find it interesting that a black woman pretty much used a stereotype against a black man when she was on the Pop the Balloon show. Essentially, if I'm to take it correctly, like he's like quite aggressive, like he would harm her or something like that, or like you know. But to the white man, it's one night stand type of situation. It's begging to have sex with him again. It is begging for his seed, we'll say. It is then attempting to extort some $3.5 million from him, right? I want y'all to understand what I'm saying. We're watching black women, and I'll say this about Ostefco. I will say this about a number of black women. For those of you that remember the young lady on Twitter that some of you kind of made fun of her man, who was talking crap about black men and comparing black men to white men and obviously deeming black men lacking, because that's all black women ever do when they compare black men to white men and black men to any non-black men, right? And then come to find out now she is, if I'm not mistaken, married with a child from a black man. And this was a young woman. I want to say she was under the age of 30, but yeah. So what we're seeing, and we already knew it, we already suspected it, and black women are just showing their ass and they showing us, yeah, that's what we doing, and you better take it. Black women who are easy for white men. Shout out to all those vet every man. Yeah, that's it. Black women who are easy for white men, who have their guard down for white men, who are open to white men, and who are mean, nasty, condescending a-holes, racist, and sexist, and misandrous towards black men. And then they speak to black men as if they're better than black men. Meanwhile, the white athlete got the vagina with no problem, right? Me, Jake, don't tell me she's Nigerian, because I got a whole thing to ask once again to you African brothers. I know I said I have to do a panel about it to have y'all on. African brothers, namely Nigerian brothers, what the hell is up with African women, namely Nigerian women, in the white peen worship? If I'm going to say that, I don't care who I offend. Yes, they're worse than Adios women. Yes, they're worse than Caribbean women. I don't care who I offend. Yes, I'll say it to Nigerian women's face. Yes, I will. This white peen worship with Nigerian women in specific. What the hell? Y'all ain't get enough from the British? Uh-oh. Huh? Apparently y'all didn't get enough from the British. Apparently y'all want to be colonized again. Right? So, going back, we have to ask ourselves, and this matters, right? Because we are attached to these people by the hip. Sometimes, unfortunately. A lot of times, unfortunately. What is going on with black women showing their ass? Because I guess this is how they think black men move and comport themselves, because a handful of black male celebrities are with non-black women. Black women, y'all, worship of celebrity culture is insane. So black women show their the black men worship at the altar of white men. And if and when all of that fails, then they settle for the same black men that they thought they were better than. Or they settle for an average white man because they couldn't pull the super badass white dudes. And they put that average white man through it. Shout out to all you average white men. Yes, right? Average white men pulling them batty ass black women, at least physically bad black women. And then thinking it's because of his personality. No, Negro, it's because you're white. Mr. Z, you call him a Negro. I know. Right? So this black woman, okay, let's say she's Nigerian. This black woman tried to scam $3.5 million from this white athlete. From my understanding, a white woman tried to do the same thing to him. Buddy Ro, you might want to watch who you having sex with. You keep on coming across these scammer ass women. Right? Exactly. Begging for dudes' genetic material. Right? Homegirl was over here begging for dudes' genetic material. I said this the other day. This was a real question. Have black women forgotten that they're black? Right? And have black men like Anton forgotten like they're black, unless it's time to degrade black people or insult black people under the guise of constructive criticism? Yes, I'm coming at Anton next. What the hell is wrong with you? Anyway, and we can have that conversation whenever you want, Anton. I don't know what the hell be wrong with these brothers with this weird ass form of constructive criticism and playing down race. I don't even do that when we're critiquing black women, but I guess for some people that's okay to play it down. Yeah, no, right? These are supposed to be smart people, y'all. These are supposed to be smart people. Yet y'all can't see past your goddamn noses to realize that we're still. It's not about race. It's just, that's why we call it a gender war. Okay. Anyway, there's a reason why she wanted the genetic material from the white man, so she could have the light mixed baby. Yes, she was gonna blackmail him and rip him to shreds in child support court. Yes, absolutely, Anton. With that, she wanted the light-skinned mixed baby. There's a reason. Jesus Christ. I'm sorry, y'all. I have no patience for this type of like playing down race unless we're criticizing black people thing. I have no patience for it. Right? So, forgetting that short woman, a white man, right? the same time black women have black people, black women, forgotten that they're black. Is their quest to be upper middle class white women, Anton, that's what they're trying to be because race does matter. Have black women and their insatiable appetite for white women's lifestyle. Have they forgotten that they're black? Or are they acutely aware that they're black and that's why they're doing the insane things that they're doing as ways to shed their blackness? And it's not working, which is causing more and more of them to sound and be insane. Right? Huh. The envy of white women amongst women of color, yes, Anton, it's not just black women. They're the loudest about it, though. The envy of upper middle class and rich white women. And if you see the way the young lady comported herself on the balloon show, well, what do you see? Who is she imitating? Who is she sounding like? That's not an average black woman. That's not even a high class black woman. That is a black woman doing her best rendition of a high class white woman. She's doing too much and she's trying too hard. She's trying too hard to the point where she's getting white men hard so that they could have her kid. What? What? Right? She's doing too much and she's trying too hard. And it's no coincidence that the person that she attempts to imitate are upper class white women. To the point where and apparently this young lady didn't only scam him, she scammed, what, one or two other white men, I think? So we already suspected this from certain black women. Apparently our suspicions were proven right here. Our suspicions are warranted. A lot of these black women are coming up with this money not from just hard work, but from scamming, from illicit activity, from sugar daddies, right? From white men. Huh. Madam, for your sake, I hope you don't do jail time. You're probably going to do jail time. And let's see how that imitating upper class white women, how that works for you. Not to mention your Nigerian descent. I know Nigerian parents ain't going to be bragging about some daughter who was out here being the pass around for rich white dudes and then got herself hemmed up because she was trying to scam and blackmail $3.5 million from rich white dudes. Huh? It's not smart. It really isn't smart. One thing black parents definitely like to do is brag on their children, especially children that are doing well. And ain't nothing, being around enough Nigerians growing up, ain't nothing that they want to hide from the world more than an F-up child. Especially an F-up daughter. And ma'am, if this story and this allegation is correct, Nigerian parents, they're not going to admit it, but that have to admit that their daughter was out here being the pass around for rich white dudes, and she tried to scam $3.5 million from a one-night stand white dude. What is it? And it's something that Phil spoke of when he did the video on the Asian woman that was speaking about how horrible good looking Asian men are. What is it with women of color pining for white men and then insulting the men of their demographic in the pursuit of the almighty white seed? What is it about women of color while playing victim of the men of their demographic? The reason I want the white men is because the men of my race, they're so mean and they're so condescending and they're so patriarchal and hyper patriarchy and etc. 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 Huh? Why? Huh? Huh? This is the real question. And meanwhile, white folks, that includes white men, still marry the women of their race more than anyone else. Not only that, when they do marry out, it's to white Latinas, which are white women that speak Spanish, and Asian women, mainly East Asian women, not even South Asian. Sorry, Mindy Kaling. Huh. And so, black women's way of fixing this, black women, are y'all ready to? Well, y'all already doing it. So, y'all trying to just be baby mamas to white dudes? Well, if I can't get the ring, huh? That was a rhetorical question because we already know the answer. No wonder y'all are saying decenter men. Shout out to Yeti. But if black men ain't ish, okay, y'all been saying that for centuries, decades. And the white men are gonna, well, do you like how Buddy Rowe here did? One night stand, fun time, and pass on. Huh. Then it's decenter men, ain't it? Prodigy said, I guess I gotta read Fanon again. Jake says, look at Chris Hemsworth's wife, equal Blanco Brazilian. That's what it be. An exotic white woman. That's all the Latinas, the Spanish speaking Latinas, the white ones. That's all they are to the white dudes. That's what the Eastern European women are too. Shout out to Trump. Exotic and different white women. Right? This isn't so much to make fun of this lady. This is pretty damn sad. I really want to talk about decolonizing your mind. I really do. Right? And how invested are you in the quote unquote American dream nightmare? Right? Imagine one night stand white dude. You have this all played out and calculated. Unfortunately for you, it's not going to work. And it didn't work. You thought you had a master plan by sleeping with master, and it didn't work. So we looking for $500,000 from people now. Sorry, I said 500,000. Sorry, way too low. $3.5 million from people now. $3.5 million. Huh. Sahel says, and it never worked. Wow. And you see this, right? So, like, prime example, y'all know Mr. Z's blue collar. I work outside, and at one of the places I work, it's a very visibly gay brother, very visibly gay, right? Kind of, the like the Slim Swole brothers, like you wouldn't want to fight him because he's built like a Doberman pincher, right? Like for to the untrained eye, you'd be like, this little, but he's not scrawny necessarily, but he's not extra muscular and bulky. Defined muscles, but not bulky. There we go. And he'll walk around, and he'll walk around with his short shorts on, and you could tell he's advertising to white men. I don't think he's a streetwalker, right? I ain't counting toes, but I am saying that he is definitely attempting to pull an old white man. And you could tell, especially if you're black, you could tell. You ain't doing that for, excuse my language, a black daddy. You definitely doing that for a white dude. You doing that for a white daddy. And I'm saying that the women, and you heard this from some of the advice that Crystal and Karazin would give, right? Putting yourself in the same spaces as these men that you find desirable. White men, speaking their language, white men, right? Being kind to them. And you hear black women say it, like the things you do, the clip that we played previously of black women saying, the things that you do, the way you treat black men, white men are not going to deal with it. You can't do that to white men. Low-key darkness is wearing Daisy Dukes. Yeah, but you'll be walking around here because he's walking around to to stay fit, and you could, bro, especially as a black man, you know what it is, and it's not okay if that's your lifestyle. I don't even got nothing to say about that. Clearly, you're gonna do what you want to do. It's the knowing who you're attempting to appeal to, right? Like the very visible, man, come and get me wardrobe to a very specific type of person that you're attempting to advertise and appeal to. And I'm using this brother to speak about how we see this with women, and you see this with that young lady on the Pop the Balloon show. Which begs the question, why was she on the Pop the Balloon show with a bunch of black people? Huh. And we have to ask ourselves, what is it about white men in particular that whether people be straight or gay, so that straight women, gay men, of color in particular, train tracks, what is it that causes people to act like this, to appeal to them, to denigrate people from their own background, to insult people from their own background, to condescend to people from their own background, and in the black community, in our case, to couch it as people of my race, the men of my race, they don't know how to be men, they don't know class, they don't know how to be kind, they don't know this, they don't, like black women do, right? What is it about white men that causes women in particular, but also gay men of non-white backgrounds, to do all of this extra to appeal to them, only to essentially see them as a walking wallet? Huh? What is it? Sahel said, ask Meghan Markle. Oh boy. Right? Absolute insanity. Right? And let me read this now. A split Jim says, was nervous they had your channel, Z. Almost lost you today. Kevin Hart dad voice. We almost lost you today. Almost lost you today. Right? No, I'm here. I'm here. I actually wondered about that. I was like, oh, man, because the way the numbers were fluctuating and jumping on what is that? Not last night, night before. Yeah, I thought I would have turned on my YouTube and nothing. Right? Man. Good point. Meghan Markle and her mom. Right? And Jake Zero says she tried to use black culture in a negative connotation when saying the guy looked like a lazy lipped stoner. But if a white man calls you out your name, you expect the brothers to protect you. F out of here, B. Right? And that's what it is. It's appealing to white society, white men in particular, by using all of the negative stereotypes and tropes against black men. Um, I was watching one of Madison Brown's most recent kind of think pieces where they're speaking about this medium ugly thing. So this is a term that women are using now for like average. Instead of saying average, they're saying medium ugly, which I guess are dudes that are not like super attractive. And Madison Brown, she kind of skims over it a couple of times, and I'll give her this, she accurately somewhat calls it for what it is that women feel slighted by men in their beauty standards, so they think they're going to give us a dose of our own medicine by ostensibly not calling average looking men average, never call essentially not calling average men average, but calling them medium uglies. And this is their way of jabbing at men. But once again, and I'm going to tie this to this young lady, right? Men in general get marred and beat upside the head for the elite and super good looking men that y'all can't get or keep that you feel hurt you. In other words, y'all get piped down by Chisel Chin Chad and Chisel Chin Tyrone, and he passes you over because that's what he's supposed to do. I said it the way I meant it. And so you feel like you're settling for average men, and you beat up on average men because the good looking dude, the well off financially guy, you feel played you. No, you got what you deserved. He knew why you wanted to be with him, and he used you as the toilet tissue you are. Now you're mad and you're calling average looking men medium ugly as a way to jab at all men because the elite men treated you like you were preying on them because you were preying on them. Right? And of course, this is why I told y'all Mac and Murphy. Madison Brown uses Mac and Murphy as the reference to a lot of her think piece. Now, let's not let it be lost on us that all of the quote unquote medium uglies and all of the dudes that are supposedly attractive are white. So Amanda Marianne did this, Madison Brown did this. Huh. These are the same people, literally Madison Brown and Amanda Marianne engaged in this, that before they speak about this Boston lobster thing or black women swirling, they first got to remind other non-black people how horrible black people are. Although for Amanda Marianne and Madison Brown, they're not as egregious with the rhetoric. They're still saying the same message, though. The words just happen not to be so abrasive. It's you have to understand black women and the beauty standard, and then we're stuck in the black community with these men that don't really value our beauty and that insult us and that leaves us with the children by ourselves. And so that's why we want to swirl and come and take your white sons, dear white women. Right? Huh. So before we speak about, because all of the examples that that Madison Brown used were white men, and all of the examples that Amanda Marianne used for this whatever swirling video was a little while ago were white men. When she used the video about softer masculinity, I can't remember what she called it. It was nothing but white men. Listen, black women just showing you who they are and what they really think. So as they try to give these excuse me, Z, could you get it out? As they attempt to give the disclaimer, there we go, to non-black people, namely non-black women, namely white women, about why they're pining over their sons, white boys and white men, and saying how horrible black men are and how black men don't take the black women's beauty seriously and how black men are pretty much lazy, shiftless bums when it comes to black women, and black men don't want to step up. Black men don't want to be men when it comes to black women. black men don't value black women's beauty, etc., etc., then they give you examples of all of these white dudes. Tying that to this young lady, look at how she spoke to the brother on Pop the Balloon. Come to find out she's a whole super scammer. Not for hundreds of dollars, not for thousands of dollars, not for hundreds of thousands of dollars, no, for millions. She wants millions. Right? Huh. And y'all like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Millions. Right? And y'all give Z 1 second, y'all talk amongst yourselves. And we're back. GC says Nigerian scammers at it again. Hysterical. Yeah, but in the face of Nigerian scamming are men, not women out here trying to scam white dudes out of seed and money, right? Huh. But this is a lot, doesn't it? This is a lot. We have to look. I think black men are going to be the spearheads of this conversation, as we should be. We really have to have a conversation about women of color, namely black women, and what they really mean by how horrible black men are. And it really is black men are not white men. That's what you're being accused of, not being white men. I said it to FD Signifier. He must have thought I was playing. Black men were supposed to be the ones to go on the planet, grape, pillage, conquer, destroy, enslave, so that maybe about 20% of black women could live how just about 20% of white women, really about 10-ish percent of white women, but 20% of white women are living, particularly in America, right? Huh. So, I covered this thing because I wanted to help and drop a stream on you guys, but not only that, I found this is supremely interesting. Like I say, interesting a lot. But it is black woman tries to blackmail a huh. There's a pun in there. Black woman tries to blackmail a white male for $3.5 million. Huh. For $3.5 million. Shout out to all of you who speak about black women and childbirth and child rearing and how these men they leave these women with these children. No. Uh. What we're finding out more and more, because black women are showing their ass and they doing it to non-black men, is that black women use children and the resources that are given to said children to raise them as leverage against whatever man that they're with or that they had the child with. This is maybe why black women are charged with parental alienation more than anyone else. Huh? Hmm. And where's that other comment that you put on Waffle? Oh yeah, here we go. And I'm Waffle says, Mr. Z, not the same group of calling black men futurist. Exactly. Over here talking about medium uglies. I would love to see Madison Brown's and Amanda Marianne's demographics of viewers. And once again, this also speaks to how much a certain look of what of black woman definitely can move in white spaces and appeals to white people more than just about anybody else in the black community. And the ways they attempt to appeal to white folks, or the ways they appeal to white folks, I don't find it to be a coincidence, right? Like I'm willing to bet a good chunk of Madison Brown's subscribership are suburban black girls, a whole lot of non-black girls and young women, and a whole lot of white girls and women. And if you have this kind of Bennington ad of suburban girls and women under the age of probably 25, definitely under the age of 30, how do you appeal to them in America? Well, um, the examples you use of men, white men, for positive things, um, omitting black men if not insulting them. Shout out to Madison Brown and Amanda Marianne. Yeah, right. Wasn't Madison Brown the same one that went to Europe and spoke about how the white dudes were worshiping her? Oh boy, right. Demetrius is definitely Sobo girls. Man, you could tell that's her viewership. You could tell. And by the way, I'm not even saying that there's nothing necessarily wrong with that. I don't know Madison Brown's upbringing. That's where she feels the most comfortable, and that's the content that she wants to produce. I'm not here to even try to regulate or police that. Make the content you want to make, right? But I don't think it's a coincidence that we have black women from across the socioeconomic stratas, and the one thing they're in agreement with is how horrible black men are. And more of you are appealing to not just non-black men. That's the thing y'all got to grapple with. Y'all are not appealing to non-black men writ large. Y'all are appealing to white men specifically, like this young lady. You went in on the brother on To Pop the Balloon show. Meanwhile, you're the one night stand practically for the white rich dude. Then you try to blackmail, there's a pun in there, the white rich dude for $3.5 million, right? Oh no, no way. Z, she has a clip on Facebook where she was interviewed by Steve Harvey. Wait a minute. Y'all give Z 1 second. Let me see something. Wait. We gotta check that real quick. Give me chat. I'm checking. Give me a second. Because this thing is taking forever to load. And come on, IG. Yep, yep. That's the young lady. Yeah, that's her. Right? Huh. Wow. Let me see. Let me get her name again so that I could look it up, because it's not sending me to Instagram. I'm checking something. I just want to get the name of her channel. Hey, okay. I see what it is. Wow. Scamming, 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 attempting to scam a rich white dude. Got it, got it, got it, got the channel. I mean, got the page. There we go. Yep, yeah, nothing but white dudes, nothing but white guys. Okay, so she got a picture with the white dude from Tokyo Vice. I know that because me and my lady watched that. She got a picture with another white dude. Um, okay, she has a picture with another white dude. I see you. Another white dude. uh right, man. Yep. Pablo Frescobar says they use it as leverage because they want the freedom of being single while having male economic resources. Exactly. Wow. Hmm. So this shows you a lot. This shows you a lot. This lady spoke down on the brother on To Pop the Balloon show, and this shows you why. I am hesitant because I know I'm going to take those classes for the fun of it to go back to school because I'm going to take those feminist classes. You better believe it. And I know Mr. Z is going to probably get kicked out, or I'm just going to make a whole lot of black women mad, right? Because the second somebody comes out their mouth about how horrible black men are, I'm just going to call them a white penis worshiper because that's what they are. And that's what this is really about, right? GC said Z finna get expelled. I'm telling you, if I go back to school, and I really do want to, I really do, right? I'm trying to maneuver certain things in my life to make that possible. At least 2 classes a semester type thing. And let's see, let's maneuver certain things around, see if I could get back in, and yeah, just look at y'all. If y'all didn't click the link to see her page, it's just going to tell you everything you need to know. And I'm sorry, Anton. Yes, this is about race. Absolutely. What is up with you brothers and playing down race, playing down black? Like the lady spoke crazy to a black man on Pop the Balloon show. Meanwhile, she's chasing after the white dudes. That's race, bro. Right? GC said 90 hours a week plus school. He's a madman. I might be doing 70 hours a week. I wouldn't be doing 90 hours a week. Right? Hysterical. I don't do 90 hours a week. And every once in a while, it'll get up into like it'll get up into the 80s every once in a blue. And then every once in like once every 6 months type thing, I'll get into the 90s and I'll try to make it into the hundreds. And well into 100. And I still haven't hit 100 yet. A split gym says Caucasoid phallus ideology idolatry. There we go. Ugh. The obelisk. Right? Wow. This ain't it, black women. This ain't it. Look at black women doing everything they possibly can to run away from black men. Then got the unmitigated gall to talk about black men and being with non-black women and how much we don't like black women's features and all this other stuff, right? Texturism, featureism, colorism, yawn, and more yawn. Cheryl said, i.e., pink pole polishing. Right. Meanwhile, black women, as usual, talking down on black men and trying to scam white men out of $3.5 million. Wow, and it's not just speaking down on. For those of you that recall, look at the way she was speaking. She just wasn't speaking down on. Look at the way she was speaking to him on the Pop the Balloon show. Look at the way she comported herself. Like she was so much better. I'm so above this man. Why would y'all even bring him in here? I'm above him. And to be above him means to be above black men. Right? So women are very socially conscious in general. Black women, even more so. And what we're seeing is we're watching black women comport themselves as if they're so much better than your standard black man, particular black women like this young lady. It only makes it worse that she's the child of immigrants, if not an immigrant herself. Huh? If anybody has seen the clip, please put it in the comments of the white guy that says, it's a white guy and he was speaking on how other people of color be talking crap about black people behind their backs. Like it was a white guy pretty much giving us a warning, like, yo, them Asian people and them Latinos and stuff, y'all think y'all friends. Nah, have you ever, what did he say? You think you're friends, but have you ever seen when the door closes behind you, how they speak about you? Something like that. Anybody seen that clip? It's a video. I think I saw it like a month ago, maybe, of a white guy pretty much saying to black people, like, these people of color that you think you're cool with, when the door closes, white people can call you all type of N-words. They don't stop them, right? And Detroit says she should have joined Ghetto Gaggers, but socially, isn't she already? Socially, isn't she already there? Right? That is what a lot of black women are doing. Women of color are doing. These people are no longer. Shout out to Francis Fukuyama and the end of history. These women ain't challenging nothing no more. These people literally complain about European beauty standard and white normality when they're in these classes in college and university, right? And yet they're begging for the white man's seed, literally. Right? Pablo said you won't last a week. Pablo, you're gonna kick me out of class that fast? Right? Jake says she's an upper echelon ghetto gagger. I mean, what you think she ain't put the Gog Gog 3000 on the white dude, on the white athlete? You got, ain't no way he just smashed. Y'all heard what 21 Savage said? You got the vagina with no head, you a lame. And the white, ain't no way the white dude got the vagina and he ain't get the Gog Gog 3000. No way. No way. I could do a whole stream about this as a child of immigrants. And Sahel says, never understood the hate for American blacks. We're all yoked in the same damn farm. It's about black Americans, ADOS FBA, being the face of black around the world, and other black people are jealous. I'm telling you that as a child of immigrants. They're jealous. Particularly for continental Africans, Nigerians in particular, they're jealous. Don't say it to them because they'll deny it. It's jealousy. You know, the tribal folks that sold their people into slavery, the ones that are still tribal now in the 21st century after Europe put a foot in their ass, huh? The ones that have Chinese folks being up on them and impregnating their women in the 21st century think that they should be the face of black around the world. Yeah, that's it. Huh? The people whose daughters are in America trying to baby trap and scam white dudes are talking about ADOS horrible culture. Yeah, that's it. And ADOS don't have no discipline and they don't take school seriously and Jordans and weave. Meanwhile, your Nigerian daughter over here with the weave trying to scam $3.5 million from the white guy. I'm just saying. Let's not start talking about how many of these goddamn African sisters, definitely Nigerians, are the throat goats for a group of white dudes. Let's not. Y'all don't want, dear all of you Nigerian men, you Nigerian taxi drivers, you Nigerian janitors, y'all working y'all asses off, right? Or you Nigerians that came here and went to school again to put your children in a nice suburban neighborhood away from the blacks, ADOS FBA, and you and your wife worked real hard. Let me tell you what your daughters are doing on these college and university campuses with these white dudes. Huh? These white guys are pogo sticking down your goddamn daughter throat on these colleges and universities all around the country. Your daughter's throat is a seed receptacle. Right? Hmm? Uh-oh, and Detroit says, let's not start with these Nigerian women who were white worshipped behind their husband's back. Oh, I get what you're saying. White worshipping behind their black husband's back. I get it. Right? Huh. So shout out to all of you Nigerian men, continental African men, talking all greasy about black American men or black Americanized men. Yours truly. Meanwhile, your daughter and your wife, huh, are pining over white men. Huh? Me too, actually. And Spainman says, I think the crying swirler was non FBA. For those of you that remember the video from about 3 years ago now, with the young lady, college student, darker skinned young lady was crying in the car because the frat bro done played her after he piped multiple times, and apparently the second time it felt more like grape. For those of you that remember, right? I see you, salty balls. I see you, Saul. Right? Dr. Umar Johnson don't got the freaking testicular fortitude. Shout out to Minister Louis Farrakhan. Right? And Detroit says, shout out to Pan Africanism and Umar. Dr. Umar don't got it in him to actually say what Mr. Z said, not the way I said it because I don't expect him to, but to actually speak about, hey, what's going on with all the African sisters and these white men? He won't say it, right? GC said, like, how do you post some ish like that online? Because she was trying to get sympathy tears from white folks. That had nothing to do with black people. As a matter of fact, there was a couple of brothers in her comments kind of making fun of her or being like, what you thought? And she pretty much banned them like, scram, I'm not trying to talk to y'all. I'm not trying to appeal to y'all. She's trying to appeal for the same white dude sympathy tears. In other words, this white guy didn't work out. Where are you white guys that feel some type of sympathy for me that you'll be my boyfriend? What? That was for white men and white women, young white men and white women. That had nothing to do with black people. Definitely nothing to do with black men. Right? Huh. Man. And I am Waffle says, why would they be jealous when they don't identify as black though? Blackness has no meaning, ethnic implications in Africa or the Caribbean. Right up until you cross your big toe off that goddamn plane in Europe or America. You could talk all that tribal crap. Nobody cares. For those of us that are black in Europe or in North America or in South America, quite frankly, if you're black, nobody cares what goddamn tribe you came from. Let's not even do that. It's not even when you get off the plane. When you get on the plane, your tribe, whatever tribe you rep in, don't matter. They don't talk about your goddamn tribe in America. Nobody cares about your tribe, especially if you're black. You're just one big Negro. And Africans, not so much Caribbeans. Caribbeans have a hard way to learn this too, but definitely continental Africans act like they don't get it. It's not up for black people to tell you. White people are showing you that. Shout out to all of you with your PhDs and you still feel slighted. Duh, dumbass. I'm Nigerian, I have a PhD and I don't live around black people. And they still treat your ass like the help. You just the help with a heavy accent. Should have known better. Right? You come over here repping Igbo or Yoruba or Hausa or whatever you and yawn, Zulu, yawn. Right? Your average white person just tell you they white. It's when you press them, then they're like, "Oh yeah, my mom and my dad, and I'm German, French, Swedish descent of da, 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 da." If they just talk to you, "Oh, I'm white," you think they're gonna let you be Igbo? They don't care about your Igbo. You're Nigerian, right? Man. But on that note, y'all, Mr. Z got to make a hard stop. I'll come back to y'all with a part 2 or maybe cover something else hopefully later on tonight. But yeah, man. GC said we don't care about that tribal ish over here in the US. LOL. Man, it'd be sad to watch Africans go through it. I'm like, what you thought? And while you try to tell me about what tribe you come from, you better watch what your daughter doing behind you. Wait a minute, is that your daughter on her knees in front of some white dude? Race don't matter. Okay, whatever. Shout out to all the black people that keep on playing down race because you trying to spite the opposite sex. Okay. All right. Mess around, your Nigerian daughter is going to be a single mom to some mixed kid from a white dude. Wait a minute, that's already happening to some of y'all Nigerian grandfathers now, isn't it? Whoopsie. Right. So we'll pause right here. Love, piece of chicken grease to this young lady. Well, I hope your case goes okay, but unlike Carly Russell and maybe even Brickface Rhoda did this scamming thing about black men and to black men, or to the black community mainly. You, on the other hand, tried to scam a rich white man. I don't think it's gonna go the same way for you. Notice both of these are immigrant black women. I'm just saying, at least black women in America know better than to pull that stunt on white men. That's one thing ADOS and FBA do. Black women know, they know better than to try to pull that stunt on white men. Right? And Detroit says, check out Red Supreme's channel. He went on black women's case where white men deleted them very often. I'll check it out right after this, actually. I'll check it out right now. Right? I don't know how this is gonna work for you, young lady. You tried to scam a white dude out of $3.5 million. I don't know. And apparently he don't really want to press a case against you. So he's saying it's really the state. Have fun. Now you got the white lawmakers and legislators and prosecutors coming after you. A black woman trying to press a white rich sports star? Well, so much for talking down to and condescending to black men. You should have went with Buddy Rowe from Pop the Balloon Show. Anyway, so we'll pause right here. Love, piece of chicken grease. Y'all have a great rest of y'all night. Rest of y'all day. All right, Mr. Z out. And Detroit tells me to check out Red Supreme. Okay. All right, y'all. Y'all have a great rest of y'all day, and Mr. Z out.